After 7 years of chasing my running potential, doing absolutely everything I can to compete in the Olympic marathon, and after coaching hundreds of runners from their first 5K all the way to sub 3 hours, I have realized something that genuinely surprised me. We are so much more similar than we think. Even if our paces are different, even if our goals are different, even if we come from completely different backgrounds, the truth is, every runner goes through the same emotional stages, the same doubts, the same highs, the same setbacks that make you question everything, and the same breakthroughs that remind you why you love this sport. But most runners think their struggle means something is wrong with them, like we're behind or broken or doing it all wrong. I want this video to do the opposite. I want this to show you that you're not alone, that wherever you are right now, it makes sense. You're not off track, you're not failing. You're simply in a stage of the runner's journey that every athlete, yes, even elite marathoners, has to move through. And here's a promise I want to make you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which stage you're in, the mistakes that normally happen in that stage, and the exact shifts you need to make to move into the next one, with more confidence, fewer injuries, and way more momentum. Here's how this will work. We're walking through the 6 stages runners experience, from the early struggle phase to the moment running becomes part of your identity, to the plateaus and comebacks, all the way to the stage where running finally feels sustainable and powerful. And for each stage, I'll break down what it actually feels like, why runners get stuck there, the patterns I see over and over again in coaching, and most importantly, how to move forward without burning out. If you've ever wondered, why does running feel so hard sometimes? Or why am I still not improving? Or will I ever feel like a real runner? This roadmap will finally give you clarity. Let's get into it. Stage 1, the shock phase, the beginner reality check. This is where every runner starts, even people who were fit in other sports. Running hits different, literally. You feel out of breath, your legs feel heavy, your pace feels slow, but your heart is exploding. Walk breaks feel like failure, and you wonder how anyone could possibly enjoy this. Here's what I want you to know. Nothing is wrong with you. Running economy is a skill, and your body simply hasn't built it yet. And the biggest mistake I see in stage 1 is trying to run too fast or too long. My honest advice, don't even worry about your smartwatch yet. In fact, I'd argue you don't need it at this stage. Don't stress about pace. Don't stress about heart rate. It will be high no matter what because your body is just learning how to run. Right now, the goal is simple. Have fun and build consistency. Show up, get outside, let running become familiar before you try to optimize anything. And if you comment PLAN below, I'll send you the link to my free beginner running training program. It's not a fancy heart rate-based plan like the advanced ones I sell. This one is about enjoyment, confidence, and starting with just 5 minutes of running at a time. And I also have a beginner runner playlist, which I'll link below if you want to learn more and really understand what to expect during the first few weeks. Stage 2, I want to get better fast pace. This is where running starts to feel possible. You finish runs feeling proud, you push the pace, you push the distance, you chase personal bests every time you lace up, right? Let me know in the comments if this is you or if you've ever been here. I definitely have, and I remember it like it was yesterday. The energy in this phase is amazing. It's exciting, it's motivating, it feels like progress is happening every single week. But it's also the phase where most runners accidentally sabotage their long-term progress because improvement becomes addictive. And without any real structure, we start doing more volume and more intensity at the same time. And unfortunately, that combination almost always leads to burnout or overtraining. And honestly, it doesn't matter how many times I say this or how many times your running friend tells you to slow down. Stage 2 is one of those phases almost all of us have to learn the hard way. We push until something pushes back. And then the injury and frustration phase. This is a phase most runners don't want to talk about but almost every single person goes through it. Something starts to hurt. You tell yourself it's fine. You convince yourself you can run through it. And then, almost overnight, it's not fine anymore. Suddenly, you're not running at all, and everything feels heavy. This phase is emotional. You feel like you lost all your progress. You feel confused because you were finally improving. And you feel frustrated because you were doing everything you thought you were supposed to do. And here's what I've learned coaching many runners and living through this cycle myself more times than I'd like to admit. Most running injuries don't happen because running is bad for you. They happen because we run too hard, too often, without realizing it. It's not the miles, it's the intensity behind those miles. This is why stage 2 so often leads right into stage 3. When we push too much, too soon, without structure, something eventually pushes back. And this is the moment right here where most runners think, okay, something needs to change. For me, it took 2 stress fractures before I finally pulled the plug and switched coaches. I ended up being coached by Ingrid Christensen, one of the greatest distance runners of all time, former marathon world record holder, and a true pioneer in women's distance running. And she completely changed how I understood training. She showed me how hard I was pushing on my hard days and how my easy days weren't actually easy at all. She had me switch to training by heart rate, and that's when everything shifted. I learned to listen to my body, I learned how recovery actually works, and I realized how much stronger and healthier I could be when my training wasn't driven by ego, but by intention. Which leads me to stage 4, the realization that I actually love running. And this stage usually sneaks up on us, and it often happens when running is taken away for a little while. There's this idea that you only really understand how much something gives you when you don't have it. And I think running is exactly like that. Maybe we were injured, maybe life got messy, maybe we stopped for a few weeks and didn't even mean to. And then we go out for that first run back, nothing special, nothing fast, and something inside us shifts. We remember how much lighter we feel afterwards, how our brain finally quiets down, how that small bit of effort makes the whole day feel a little more manageable. We realize running wasn't just exercise. It was a place we went to feel more like ourselves. And this is usually the moment when we stop thinking about running as something we need to get better at and start appreciating it for what it's been giving us all along. The calm, the structure, the confidence, the sense of showing up for ourselves, running becomes something we want to protect, something we want in our lives for the long term, something we want to do right this time. And that's what naturally leads us into stage 5, where we're trying to come back, we're trying to rebuild, and we learn that the comeback is rarely smooth, but it can be incredibly powerful if we let it be. This stage, wow. If you've ever taken time off, whether it was an injury, burnout, or just life being life, you know exactly what this feels like. And honestly, this is one of the hardest stages for all of us. Because when we come back to running, we want to feel like our old selves again. We want our old paces, our old fitness, our old confidence. But the comeback is rarely smooth. It's messy, it's emotional, and it tests us in ways we don't expect. Some runs feel amazing, and the next day feels like we've never run before in our lives. Our brain compares everything to who we used to be. Our ego wants to speed up. Our heart rate shoots higher than we want it to. And we feel like we're behind, even though this is completely normal. And trust me, I know exactly what this feels like. Those 2 stress factors I mentioned earlier, they eventually turned into 6 stress factors before I finally admitted I needed better answers and a clearer system to rebuild the way I dreamed of. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping you understand these stages, because I lived them. I broke myself down so many times trying to rush the process, when what I actually needed was patience, clarity, and a smarter framework. And here's the part that truly delivers on the promise of this roadmap. There is nothing wrong with us. We are not failing. We are not broken. We are simply in stage 5, and stage 5 has a solution. The comeback doesn't ask us to be faster or fitter right away. It asks us to be patient. It asks us to listen. It asks us to rebuild from a place of understanding instead of urgency. And this is where all the self-awareness we've built so far, recognizing our patterns, understanding how we get injured, remembering what running gives us, becomes the foundation for something stronger. And this is also the stage where most of us start looking for support that actually works. Not pushing harder, not doing random workouts, but finally training smarter, with structure, intention, and a way to measure effort that doesn't lie to us. Which brings us into stage 6, where everything finally begins to click. Stage 6, the mature runner. This is a stage so many of us don't even realize we're working towards. But when we get here, everything makes more sense. Stage 6 isn't about pace. It isn't about weekly mileage. It's about finally understanding what our running actually needs and what we need. We stop trying to prove something every time we step outside. We stop chasing paces we're not ready for. We stop comparing every run to the fittest version of our past selves. Instead, we begin asking better questions. What does my body need today? What effort is sustainable? How do I build this into something that I can keep for years, not just until the next injury? And when we reach this point, something deep inside of us shifts. Our easy days finally become easy. Our workouts have a purpose. Our long runs build confidence instead of draining us. And we actually recover instead of pretending we do. This is also the moment structure stops feeling restrictive and starts feeling protective. We've lived the chaos, we've lived the burnout, we've lived the injuries, and trust me, I know this all too well. Those 2 stress fractures I mentioned earlier eventually turned into 6 stress fractures. 6, all because I didn't have the structure, the understanding, or the tools I needed. Younger Karoline wanted so badly to improve, but her effort wasn't directed. So instead of progress, she kept ending up back at 0. It made me feel like a constant failure, like I wasn't built for this sport. And that's why these are the exact plans I wish younger me had. Plans that protect you, plans that guide you, plans that make your hard work actually pay off instead of breaking you down. And if you're new to heart rate training, make sure you comment the word heart rate so I can send you my free guide. And definitely check out my full heart rate training playlist. It explains everything step by step. Because here's the thing, my training approach has evolved even further over the past few years, especially after working with a coach in Norway who built the foundation for how the Ingebrigtsen train. They don't guess intensity, they dial it in very precisely. So using heart rate targets like 130, 145, 170, anchored to your personal physiology. And this is very different from general heart rate zones, which most people use. Zones are broad, targets are very precise. Targets change everything. And if you're interested in learning the system and training the way that finally helped me break the injury cycle, check out my training plans below. They follow this exact philosophy so you can progress without constantly getting set back. And if you want strength support too, my runner strength plans created with the team at Prehab San Diego are there to help your body handle the training without falling apart again. And for anyone who wants personalized guidance through this stage, my one-on-one coaching waitlist is always open as well. Stage 6 is where running finally becomes sustainable. And honestly, beautiful. It's where we get to enjoy the sport without fear. It's where training begins to support us instead of overwhelm us. It's where the journey, the real journey, finally begins. If you're still here with me, I just want to say this. Wherever you are in these 6 stages, it's okay. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're not the only one who struggles. You're simply in a phase all runners move through, and now you have the roadmap. You know what each stage feels like, why it happens, and most importantly, what to do next. And honestly, I wish someone had explained this to me years ago. It would have saved me so much doubt, so much frustration, and so many setbacks that had nothing to do with talent and everything to do with not understanding the journey. And if this video helped you understand where you are right now, take a second to think about your next step. If you're in stage 1 or stage 2, comment plan and I'll send you my free beginner program. Just start showing up, have fun, no pressure. And if you're in stage 3, you're not alone and this stage has solutions. Comment heart rate and I'll send you my free heart rate guide. And check out my heart rate training playlist so you can avoid going through what I went through. And if you're in stage 4 or 5, this is where structure begins to matter. This is where heart rate training becomes life-changing. These running plans I built, the ones I truly wish younger Karoline had, are designed for this exact part of the journey. To protect you, to guide you, to finally make your hard work pay off. And if you're in stage 6, you're ready to build something long-term. You're ready to train like a mature runner with intention, progression, and honesty. And that's where both the running plans and the runner strength plans from Prehab San Diego work together to support you from every angle. Because running isn't just about running. It's about the body that carries you through it. And if you want someone in your corner every step of the way, adjusting your training, managing intensity, helping you navigate setbacks, fill out my one-on-one coaching form. But above all, I'm proud of you. Wherever you are in this journey, you're showing up, you're learning, you're trying to understand your body instead of fighting it. And that alone puts you miles ahead of where most runners ever get. And let me know in the comments, what stage are you in right now? I'd love to hear your story, and I'll see you next Friday.